I'm Matt Rhoda, studying Health Policy and Administration. I actually had a very severe concussion myself, playing ice hockey. So I really went through a lot of the protocols and procedures along with it and realized how flawed it was. Reflexion Interactive Technologies is a company that's created a fast, affordable, and portable concussion screening device. We talk about accuracy, portability, and speed. Accuracy because our device tests multiple cognitions at once. Typically, you need multiple pieces of large stationary equipment, but we combine that into a single 30-second test, which brings me to the next point of speed. Because it's only 30 seconds, it's very reasonable to have a team do this every week. And then portability, the device fully deployed is almost 6 feet long, but it actually breaks down into individual panels that fit in a duffel bag. If you go to high schools and small athletic organizations where the vast majority of athletes are, you'll find that they don't have the budgets or resources to have the top-notch technology that's been developed in the last couple of years. Because of that, there's really a flaw where it's needed most, and that's for high schools and small athletic organizations. These athletes are diagnosed quicker so they can get healthier sooner and then keep playing the sport they love. We're trying to provide parents peace of mind so that their kids are protected and that the next generation of athletes can be happy and healthy. My name is Matthew Rhoda, co-founder of Reflexion Interactive Technologies, and when I was a junior, I slid headfirst into the boards during an ice hockey game. Worried about a concussion, my coach sat me on the bench and asked, "Where are you? What year is it, and who's the president?" I answered those questions and then kept playing during the game. But I don't remember any of that. The reality was I had a concussion so severe, I had to miss almost 2 months of school after that. And my story is not unique either. There are over 50 million young athletes in this country at risk for traumatic brain injury, the vast majority of whom have little or no concussion testing. With an issue as serious as pediatric brain health, there needs to be a more affordable and scientifically validated solution. So we have developed the Reflexion Edge, a patent-pending LED touchscreen that collapses into a duffel bag and deploys in minutes. In a weekly 30-second test where athletes interact with light patterns in front of them, we can monitor many important factors in detecting a concussion simultaneously. We look at hand-eye coordination, depth perception, peripheral vision, all of which have been known to be correlated to concussions, but have conventionally required large pieces of stationary equipment. By combining this into a fast 30-second test, we can constantly be monitoring athletes throughout a season, meaning we change concussion detection from retroactive to proactive. That means we can get a more accurate return to play decision and that no injured athlete has to go back out on the field like I did. So this concept is the study of both independent and our own research because we are in a clinical study right here at Penn State University with a world-class concussion researcher, Dr. Sam Slobanoff. Now we plan to sell to parents and high school athletic directors. Parents who care most about their children will crowdfund the cost of hardware for $2,000. So that way schools own the device but can avoid an upfront capital purchase. Then schools will pick up a subscription fee of $20 per athlete per year. We use this model because it's very similar to other concussion tests, meaning we can smoothly transition our system into their school that's safer and more affordable. Now, to get here, we have raised over $150,000 from angels, grants, and the Ben Franklin Technology Partners. And by May of this year, we will have completed phase 1 of our clinical study and can begin to phase the Reflexion Edge into the market. But to get there, we need to create solid front-end and back-end user interface for our software. That means we are asking for $20,000 to hire a team of 5 student software developers to work right here in State College this summer. This next step is crucial, so I hope we have interested you in helping Reflexion provide parents peace of mind.
Thanks again, Matthew. So over the past year, what are the 2 most important changes that have happened in your company?
So the first, I would say, is our interest in not looking for the silver bullet anymore. Because we realize that regardless, you could have a concussion test that does, it's perfect. It can tell you 100% without a doubt if you have a concussion. But a lot of times that still requires subjectivity for a trainer on the sidelines to say, hey, that was a big hit, let's order a test. So because of that, we've changed our testing into this 30-second concept where you can do this constantly throughout a season, meaning regardless of whether or not you report a concussion, we're still testing you and we can pick up on those mild concussions that would typically get ignored. The other thing is portability. We realize while that's a great concept, that it's not practical for schools to be able to do this unless you can have speed and portability. So by making this a collapsible device that deploys in only a couple minutes, it's very easy to throw this on a bag to an away game or even store it in a locker room.
So if I understand correctly, your model is to sell this to parents.
So
have parents pay for it in some way.
The hardware itself, yeah. The schools have a long sales cycle, but parents particularly want to see their kids protected as soon as possible. So we can market this to them and say, all right, let's crowdfund the hardware itself, and then schools can smoothly transition into that concept of $20 an athlete per year.
How much would it cost for the parents to crowdfund one of these?
So one device we're selling is $2,000, which is barely over cost of production.
Why wouldn't you charge more then?
Because in any model we run, we realize that this subscription fee greatly takes over any kind of revenue stream that we have. The way we got to that number is if there is 20 games during a season for something like basketball or along that, we can do $1 a test. That's how we can market this.
So you mentioned doesn't need to be FDA approved, but are there currently any concussion diagnostic tools that are FDA approved?
Yes. So the most common concussion test is the impact test. That's used in high schools, and it does have FDA approval, but there's a number of flaws. Besides being proven by researchers completely unrelated to me to be an invalid test compared to others, it still has the issue of that subjectivity of a trainer on the sidelines, meaning they don't get tested unless someone says that was a big hit, let's order a test.
Why a 6-foot panel? Why not a 12-foot panel or a 4-foot panel, or why not an iPad?
Yeah, a lot of times people wonder, could this be limited to something like an iPad? But we actually require this type of size because we're looking at many important factors like peripheral vision and hand-eye coordination. Something like an iPad where you're just pressing dots in a small screen, you could never gain that type of accuracy.
So you mentioned wanting to use the $20K to hire developers here over the summer for your user interface platform. Can you describe to us kind of your vision for what that platform would provide to the end user? And also, have you identified some developers now that we're getting close to summer?
So we actually already have a couple lined up, but the end goal, or what we hope to accomplish by the end of the summer, is a fully functional user interface that makes it very easy for a customer to interact, to run a test, to input data like a person's age or information, and then also have it be a cloud-based system. So regardless of their school system or their team, they can access their same data at a hospital, at home, wherever.
Thanks, Matthew. You've made great progress.
Okay.
Appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
And the top prize of $15,000 goes to Reflexion.